All right, yeah, very, very disappointing. I mean, no other way to put it. Told the guys in the locker room, I've clearly not done a good enough job here in the second half of the season getting this team ready to go. Didn't do a good enough job today getting our offense ready to go. Another game very similar to Notre Dame. Missed opportunities, obviously a ton of turnovers offensively, the turnovers and the fourth down stops. Turnover for a touchdown. Defensively, we did some really good things, especially with being put in just horrible field position by all the turnovers just all day, but didn't get off the field quite enough on third downs. And that's the name of the game. We just didn't play good enough in any way, and it felt like there were some opportunities being here at home where we had a chance to grab some momentum and really get going there. A couple stops, obviously the deal right before halftime, and we just flat out didn't play good enough. I mean, just extremely disappointing to finish this way with obviously how well we started the season. I know our guys are disappointed, coaches are disappointed, I'm disappointed, I know our fans are disappointed, and they should be. I mean, there's no excuses. It's below what we expect here. It's below the standard, and I gotta do a much better job, clearly. And I own all that, and I'm gonna fight my ass off in every single way to make sure this thing gets to where it's supposed to be. We keep having guys in our program like these two guys sitting next to me, then we'll have one great shot as time goes on. Appreciative for these guys, and a lot of the guys in the locker room, a lot of guys laid it on the line. There's been a lot of great things happen here in the first couple of years, and there's a long ways to go with this. But I am very appreciative. It's certainly a very tough moment because more than anything, want these guys to go out with the win here on Senior Day. So that's where we're at. Obviously, team will take a little bit of time now. It's been a long 9-game stretch, so it'll take a little bit of time. Get these guys back in the weight room a little bit, get them home for Thanksgiving, get a chance to reset, find out where the next game is, and then obviously start working on the future in terms of the next game and beyond. So with that, we'll go questions.
Coach, you mentioned some of the turnovers and some of the stops not being able to convert. Just curious, what did you make of the game on the ground today? Did you want that to be a little more balanced, or was it just a case of UCLA's run defense?
They're good. I mean, it's the best D-line that we played this year, which we kind of thought that coming in. They're a good group. No, we didn't play very good in the run game. I mean, we didn't. We tried there. We just weren't getting a whole lot of momentum with it. We got kind of rolling there in the passing game really kind of to the first half. I think we had almost 300 yards passing at half. So I mean, we were making some big plays and starting to move the ball there. The run defense and our inability to run the ball was a big part of it, because then those good pass rushers were able to start teeing off, and obviously not the situation that you want to be in. So we knew coming in we were going to need to run it well, and we were going to need to be pretty good in the short passing game, kind of quick passing game to be able to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. We did okay in the short passing game, but run game certainly wasn't good enough.
Lincoln, where do you feel like you personally could have done more over this past 6-game stretch?
Everything. I don't know it's more. I mean, I don't know that I can put more minutes into it than what I do. But it's performance based at the end of the day. And I look back and say, we have fighters in there. We've had a tough stretch. I think you look back on it, in some of the close games, not being able to win and capitalize on those. I think we'll look back and really that was kind of the key stretch of the season. And the season probably came down to 4 or 5 plays that we didn't make, and we got to find a way to make those. And then we had 2 games like this one today where just turnovers and really just didn't even give ourselves a chance to win by the way that we played, and that's unacceptable. You may lose a close one here and there, where it's just right there, one play here or there, but to not give yourself a chance like today is it's unacceptable. So I got to be better. I mean, there's no way to look at this and say I did any kind of a good job, and then we got the result that we did in the second half of the season. So I got to be better in every single way possible.
When you have these last really emotional 4 games, Utah, the Cal game, Washington, was this team maybe emotionally exhausted? Because it seemed to some that maybe they were a bit flat in the game.
I think, were we a little worn down now? Yeah. I mean, we've played 9 barn burners in a row. I mean, every single of the last 9 have been close. Now, obviously, had we played better in some of them, they wouldn't have all been close. But yeah, I think we were a little bit worn down emotionally. Some of the close losses at 9 straight, heady games, probably the toughest 9-game stretch that any college football team played anywhere. Yeah, I think I'd look back on it and say yes. But the reality is, you play better, you coach better. Then you're not in that many. You go make one of those plays in several of the games we played against top teams this year. You make one more of those plays and win, and all of a sudden the momentum that comes along with that, just everything feels a little bit different when you do. And so we didn't do it. We didn't do it today. It's incredibly disappointing, but it's also, I told them in there, it's also incredibly motivating. Because I want to, for a lot of reasons, and again, some of these guys up here, Shane and Dietrich and several more in the locker room that helped get this thing started here and didn't have to. Like he didn't have to come back. He didn't have to come back. He didn't have to transfer here. Like, I want to, as time goes on, I want to validate what they did, and we're going to, and we are going to be great. It sucks right now. It hurts right now, and but I've never been more motivated and have more of a fire in my belly than I do right now.
Lincoln at 7-5, obviously, as you said, not where you want to be at the end of the second year. I mean, do you feel like major program changes are necessary in culture and personnel to get where you want to go in this third year?
I mean, we've already made one pretty big change. So you go back and look at everything, and you do it whether you're 7-5 or whether you're 10-2 or what. I mean, you do that all the time. I mean, that's a constant here. The reality is there's going to be things to fix. I mean, like I've said a few times, you go change 3 plays this year, we're probably we probably won 3 more games. And had we made those plays, there were still the issues that were there that had to improve. Were still going to be there, and so we've got to continue to do a better job of growing in every area. We knew this was going to be a climb. We knew that's what we signed up for, like I've told you guys, and we got to keep climbing. Everybody wants the clean, smooth road to the top, and that's for the movies, man. Like, the road to the top is jagged. And it's going to take its different twists and turns, especially coming from where this was. But we got to stay together as a program. We got to stay together as a fan base. We got to stay together as a university. Like this is the tough times that you push through for the great things on the other side of it. And most people, if you're willing to push through it, you get to those opportunities, and ours are coming.
Coach, when you consider the highs and lows of the season, how would you sum it up?
I don't know that I want to sum it up. I mean, we got one more game left with these guys. I'm disappointed in today. We'll sum it up when it's all over.
We talked a lot the last 2 years about building culture. Did you feel anything was lost or missing down the stretch in that regard?
It'll be interesting to go back and take stock of that. We got in a bunch of heavy games. There's points where I would say the fight of this team, the resilience of this team, coming back in a lot of the games and giving us chances to win. We won a couple of them. We didn't win a couple of them. So I would look at some of that and say there was definitely growth, but certainly, not winning some of those close games, playing a game like we did today, say there's obviously still clearly a lot of work to be done.
Lincoln, another poor game on special teams. You expressed your preference not to have a full-time special teams coordinator. Without making that move, how do you get better in that unit?
Well, we've improved there this year. I mean, we've got, I think, the #1 punt return team in the country. Eddie's done a nice job for us all year. We missed a couple of kicks today, which were which obviously were the one kick out of bounds and missed the field goal. So those were obviously some big plays against us. But yeah, I mean, I evaluate everything at the end of the year. We've made some improvements. I'm not saying it's been perfect, but that'll be part of the evaluation, just like every other part of the program.
Lincoln, if this is Caleb's last game for USC, what would you say he's meant for this program these past 2 seasons?
Yeah, he's done a lot, like a lot of these guys have here, and he came here and took a chance on this place and took a chance on being a part of restarting this program and getting it going. And he's obviously been a good player for us, a really good leader for us, and like a lot of guys have in that locker room. So he's a special player, special competitor, and obviously we'll see where it goes from here.
Let's do one more.
Justin, you've seen a lot in your 6 seasons here. What were your thoughts swapping off the field a couple minutes ago?
Yeah, it's very emotional.
It's been a long 6 years here. Obviously, on a different outcome for this game, especially with my unit. But grateful for all the times I've had in this place, and grateful to be a part of this team, part of this program. Wouldn't want it any other way. Love being a Trojan.
Thank you, gentlemen.